Thank you, being recorded. Hi, everybody. It's Wednesday and it's August 12th, right around the corner from the start of the fall semester. It's so exciting and so uncertain. As you know, situation, as we have said for the last, I don't know, 3.5 months, it's fluid. There are things happening on every day that we need to monitor and adjust. Kind of like, I guess, Nava'a would have stuff like sailing canoes. Read the wind, read the waves, got to monitor, you got to adjust where you're going so you know where you're going to get to your destination. So preparations for fall are ongoing. I want to say a special thank you to all the faculty and the staff who are part of the CCC, the Campus Comeback Committee, COVID Comeback Committee, for all the thinking and the planning and the putting the guidelines together. I want to thank the department chairs for really making sure that things were getting done over and over and over in multiple different ways, and the faculty who are adjusting their learning modalities to account for all the things that are going on. Preparing for fall this year, of course, is like no other fall before us. Usually we prepare and welcome our students and embrace them on the campus, thousands of students. It's just not going to be that way this time. So we're all going to have to adjust. But thank you to everyone who's had a role to play. The technology guys who are helping all of us learn how to do better online, better with Zoom, adjusting the classrooms. Nava'a and a whole bunch, Shelly going around making sure that the classrooms are set up right. Jerry and Nava'a too, monitoring the classes, changing them from one modality to another and disenrolling and enrolling the students. So a lot of work by a lot of people, and it will all be for the good. So I thank you for all of this. I have some things to update you, things that have been going on at the system level and things that we need to be mindful of on our campus. So modified quarantine is going to be going in effect in the next, I'm not sure, day or so. Raphael Lowe and Noea were working all weekend with Jody Ito and others at UHITS to make sure that we were ready for this. It required a lot of back-end programming, a lot of making sure the website was ready. We have a landing page. Students will be informed via email. All those students who have out-of-state permanent addresses will be informed that they have opportunity to do modified quarantine, and our folks are going to be the ones who are going to get all of this invitation responses for those students who want to be given the opportunity to modify the 14-day quarantine if they're coming from out of state. Took a lot of work, so thank you, Raphael, for that in particular. If you haven't yet tried it, we have the check-in, the daily check-in app is in test mode. If you're an Apple user, you can go to the App Store, get LumiSight, L-U-M-I-S-I-G-H-T is the new name for the web, online app. It goes on your phone. If you guys are Android users, you go wherever your Android apps are found and look for LumiSight. We will be asking all faculty, staff, and students to check in daily. If you give an answer that says, yes, you have one of the symptoms and you have your location on, you will get a note that says, hey, you're not supposed to be going to campus, go away, in very polite language, but it will know that you're coming to campus. LUMISIGHT, sorry, is the, where's my return? I'm sorry, I've got different things. That's the name of the app for check-in. They're still working on it. It's work in progress, but you can play with it. You can test it out. and we will be asking folks to do that. Thanks, Brian. There's the link for, see, all you guys, I love it when you guys answer the questions. You've heard us talk about for a long time. Okay, so we're getting these questions, but they're coming to me. If you're not going to come to campus, you don't have to do it, but I promise you that it will ask you, how come you didn't check in today? Because I did it yesterday and I didn't check in today, and I got an email message that says, hey, you're supposed to check in. But if you're not going to be coming to campus, then you don't have to worry so much. You've heard us talk about CARES 1 funding to students. I can update you on the latest wave of students. This last CARES fund, we asked students who were enrolled last spring and continuing into the fall, enrolled for 6 credits or more, and had completed a FAFSA. We had 1,247 students fill out the application or submit. And of those, 214 are still pending. And up to this point, we have spent, for this population of students, $520,000 in stipends is going to the students. 6 credits continuing from spring and had completed FAFSA. So we have 214 that may not be eligible for CARES because they're not Title IV eligible. Remember, the federal government wants to make sure that we don't give federal money to students who are ineligible. That is international students and DACA students. So they have to be Title IV eligible in order to get the CARES money. So we have a different, we will have a different funding source for the potentially 214 students who are not Title IV eligible. Let's see. Faculty need to be on island, even if they are teaching 100% of their courses online. We expect faculty to be on island, not teaching from Colorado, not teaching from Hawaii Island, not teaching from Japan. They are, by policy, required to be on island, and that policy has not changed. So just letting you know, that's a continuation of our current policy. It's not changing for COVID. Is it safe to say all classes move to online? Thank you, Sheldon. That was going to be my 1, 2, 3 more things, and I was going to get to that, but now that you've asked the question, I will get to it now. It is not safe to say that all classes are moved to online. There are classes that are being offered that require face-to-face. This is the same classes that we were not able to complete in spring 2020. What I will say, and I will strongly encourage any faculty member whose class can be online, should be online for your safety as a faculty member and the safety of the students at this time. If not for the whole semester, then certainly for the start of the semester when we have continuing 3-digit online COVID cases. Dale Otis says, as well as Honolulu, there are classes on the Big Island and Maui. And we have to, and I know the EMS classes have to be offered most often face-to-face because of the nature of the learning that requires hands-on. So I understand that. And what I'm saying and strongly encouraging is if you can put your class online, then please do, for your safety. If you can do it for the first few weeks of the semester and then go back to hybrid or face-to-face as necessary, then that would be great. I'm concerned as we all are about the hundreds of cases every day and trying to be as safe as possible for the faculty and the students. So please do consider. Is it also safe? Okay, wait. Does that mean that those hybrid classes should be changed? You can, if you want to, delay the hybrid portion for a couple of weeks or 4 weeks, delay the face-to-face portion for a little while, not change so wholly, because we don't know what the situation will be like. What we know is, as it says in the class availability, there may be a time when we must go all the way online as we did at spring break. So we need to be prepared for that. But for the start of semester, if you can delay the on-ground portion, I would encourage you to do that for safety. Sheldon, is also next to their star. Yes, I could ask Navaa or Jerry to see, the department chairs will know as well, but are there faculty who in the last few days since the president sent out his announcement and I did a follow-up, are there faculty who are changing even now? I see Nava nodding.
Yeah, there were probably 3 or 4 classes that changed to online. You, Sheldon, you want me to send you folks another list of the ones that are online and who are face-to-face and hybrid?
No, I guess just maybe information on what to tell these agencies who support these students where to look. Because what they're doing is they're helping their students make sense of their schedules and figuring out what resources those kids need. So wherever I can direct them would be great.
Okay, and Sheldon, for early college, have any of the high schools dropped out of having our courses offered there?
Radford had to. They lost all their money.
Okay, just Radford.
Just Radford.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I just want to clarify a response to Cheryl's question about new transferring, returning international students. As far as I understand, only new international students need to have one hybrid or face-to-face class. Continuing students, transfer students, no. They can be totally online for fall. Does that apply, this is Hal's question, to moving admin functions online also, parking pass distribution? Parking pass distribution, Brian?
What's the question?
The question is from Hal. Since we're moving a lot of classes online, moving services online. And
we did the best we could to put it electronically already. I mean,
you have to physically come and pick it up.
Something that you don't necessarily have to get a parking pass if you don't want to. It's you have to have it. It's not a service that is entirely able to go on entirely online right now.
Because you get a piece of something, so you have to pick up the piece of something somewhere.
Yeah.
But the application process is all online.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, Darsh. Tony is asking, is President Lassner's reduced presence announcement pretty much the same as what we announced back in March, move to remote? Less extreme because March was lockdown, shelter in place, nobody could move. We're not at that place right now. Now it is highly encouraged, not lockdown today. I can't tell you about tomorrow. I can't tell you about next week, but March was much more extreme. Are faculty prohibited from holding face-to-face or hybrid class sessions in the first week of the semester? No, they are not prohibited. They are highly encouraged to put as much as they can online in the first 2 weeks, first month, for their safety and the safety of their students. There is no prohibition. HIC confirmed that continuing international students do not need any hybrid. Sean, Joe, anybody? Joe, if you are answering, you're muted.
I'm sorry. If they're continuing students, they do not need hybrid courses. They can do all online.
Thank you. Sally wants to know if you can distribute it by campus mail. That means a lot more people get to touch the paper, just saying.
Louise,
Yes, Sally?
is the concern touching the paper more serious or having 600 plus people descend on one office?
That's a good question, Sally. And
Let's not exaggerate. It's not 600 plus people. We're trying to do things here, guys, and with our parking permits, we still need to have parking permits, period. We don't know what parking is going to be like this fall. I'm thinking, and I think all of you are thinking, that there's going to be much less people. But we don't know. But the fact of the matter is we still need to have parking permits. We're better off with them than without them because of what could happen from the public coming in. So right now we have approximately 150 to 180 people who have signed up for their parking permits. On Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday of next week, we're going to have 3-hour windows available in a large area that we can socially distance to provide these passes. After that, starting on the 24th, there will be 3 separate windows: cashier's office, HR office, and my office, the Vice Chancellor's office of Admin Services office. And then you can come and get them there. So we can't, the bottom line here right now is that we can't go entirely electronic on this. I know what everybody wants to do, but we can't do that right now. There still needs to be a process in which you're going to get a hard copy of a pass or a permit. I want to refrain from doing it via campus mail because I know it's going to get lost in campus mail and somebody else is going to get your pass and you're going to get somebody else's pass.
So we'll make the passes available at multiple locations and mitigate any congregation of people in big areas all descending on one single place. So I think for now that's probably as good as it can be. But thank you for raising the concerns. And we are trying to limit paper because people touch paper and you can't really sanitize the paper when you're signing all that stuff. So I appreciate everything that's going online. Thanks, Darsh, for the information. Okay, I got two other things before I turn over the info. I've said to you before that there will be a training video that we will ask all employees and students to take. It will be online. It will be short. It is being developed by the system, and it's coming soon to a theater near you. Your own computer, you'll be able to do this. I've not seen anything. I don't know what it's like, but it is to help us learn how to behave in a COVID environment. So I'm sure it's going to talk to us about social distance and hand washing and wearing facial coverings and all those other good things. A reminder, next week, Wednesday, is convocation. So there will be no campus Zoom. We'll have quite enough information at 8:30 and not 1 o'clock. So you can take that off your calendar, and thank you for all of you who keep coming to these campus Zooms. I can't even say how much I appreciate the 130 plus people who tune in every time to get the latest information. It's so important because things change so often, and you always ask such good questions. And the questions that you ask clarify for everyone. So I do thank you for that. In terms of updates from the other members of the admin team, Carol, you would like to say?
Yes, okay. First of all, I'd like to say hello to everyone and hope you're doing well. I wanted to let you know that the Continuing Education Extended Education Committee got together and we have awarded 22 stipends to continuing education students. They will be getting their award letter and we are still taking applications. So if you know of students in CE who've been impacted by COVID or unemployment and so forth, you can encourage them to apply. Secondly, I did want to remind people that we do have the HiNet program, which helps credit as well as non-credit students to cover the cost for books and transportation and supplies and so forth for eligible students. And last of all, we do have a Kaya Ulu webinar coming up on Tuesday of next week at 2 o'clock, and it is about successful grant writing. And that will be again at 2 o'clock. And you can go to the CE site to see how to sign up. Thank you.
Thanks, Carol.
Mhm.
Okay, any of the other administrators change their mind about wanting to update the campus on anything?
I have an announcement. It just came to mind now. Sorry.
Okay. Go.
Um, for the arts and sciences department chairs, if you could find out specifically which one of hybrid or face-to-face courses will start in the first week and send me their names, that would be really great. Yeah, that's it. I'm just wondering, I don't know if you, Louise, or Brian wants, I'm sure I'm going to be breaking rules, you guys, so I apologize in advance. As to kind of, so we have a list of people who are teaching online, people who are teaching face-to-face. And do we want to keep track of who are our online faculty who will actually be in their office, teaching from their office? And I'm only asking because I know the custodians have to clean. And, you know, if they've been working in their office for 8 hours but they're supposed to be online, but they're in their office teaching, I would think they might want to clean the door handles, clean the desk. I don't know. I'm just, yeah.
I think that's a good point, Navala. I think if faculty are teaching online but teaching from their office, it's good to let people know that so that the custodians can, you know, waste baskets, clean the doors, and then not do the other ones. I think that's a good idea. And there are a lot of faculty who teach from their offices because they have all the equipment that they need and air conditioning and no kids in the office.
Yeah.
Could be a Google Doc where the department chair could be tracking, you know, who needs to be in their offices.
Okay.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. This is Marcus Fixie. I'm sorry to interrupt. I just had a quick question for Carol as a follow-up, if that's okay.
Sure.
Carol, and I'm sorry, it broke up for a second when you were giving your update, but I just wanted to make sure that I'm clear on it because I have quite a few people who are waiting to hear back about that education stipend. My first question was, I was thinking that they were being alerted on Monday. When did you see that email is going out?
Actually, Tricia was sending that. She put that in the mail, actually, the hard copy in the mail.
Okay.
So, okay. And then the people who maybe need to reapply, they're going to get the notification through email. We also have had several applications that have come in, you know, since we were already looking at the first batch. You know, there's another batch that's come in, and normally we look at those on Thursdays, so people can still send applications in.
Gotcha. Okay. And then just quickly, my other question was, you mentioned another service to apply for help with textbooks, et cetera, but I missed what that was. Was that HiNet?
HiNet. It's
Okay.
HiNet.
Got it. Thank you.
Alrighty. You're welcome.
Thanks, Marcus. Any other administrator have an announcement or share or concern or question? Anybody?
Louise, I have a question for Brian.
Yes, Jan?
If we could have a facilities update. I know that there's so much going on around the campus, particularly the Mokihana Miley area.
Sure. So you wanna update on the construction for the 3 portables?
I do. Yes, please.
Okay. What I would like to do is I'd like to defer to Sean Nathan, who has probably better information than I have right now. Sean, can you give an update on that?
Sure. So bulk of the work is occurring in Miley. They're actually moving along a lot faster than we all anticipated. We thought that the AC work for Miley was going to occur during the winter break, but they're actually getting a lot of the equipment installed at the time. Flooring will not be done until end of the semester, unfortunately. But otherwise, Miley's moving along. They got to do the ramp, not really repair, but they got to build a ramp for stage access inside of Miley still. A lot of the exterior work is going to be wrapping up. And that pretty much goes for Moki and Mamane as well. It's a lot of exterior work that will be continuing all the way through the rest of this month, right up until the first week or so of September. They'll be doing exterior painting as well for all 3. And so right now the projected timelines we're still kind of playing with it a little bit, but we're essentially looking at going into a couple of weeks of September, and then hopefully within the first few weeks of October, we can get through any walkthroughs, punch list items, and then actually accept the buildings and get them back into operation.
So, Sean.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, this is Jan. So those of us who have to get to our offices and are teaching from our classrooms, so I'm in Mokihana, my office is 103 where all my stuff is, and I'll be teaching remotely from 103, from 101, that's been the plan all along. Are you saying that we will not have access at all to our classrooms at this point or our offices?
So access could be provided with the understanding that this is a active construction zone through the month of August and going into some parts of September. But if you just give me a heads up on when you need to access the area, we can let you in. I think the preference from my end would be that anything you need in there that maybe you can grab it and use that to work from another location. If that's not going to work for some reason, we can have that conversation with all the appropriate parties involved to figure out the possible solutions or alternatives.
Okay, should I send you an email directly then, Sean?
Sure.
Anyone else should CC'd on it? Like maybe my department chair or something?
Yeah, I would include, whoever your department chair is. If you want to include any your deans or anybody else, welcome to include them on there.
Thank you.
Okay, there's a question in the chat about the Google sign in out and sign out form. Are we still going to work on that basis, Brian?
As of right now, no, but it really depends, quite honestly, on how much further we go into, how much further we retract as a state or as a system. So right now, Louise has strongly encouraged, classes to go online. If we move to a double strongly encourage you, or we're just going to do what we did in the spring, then of course we're going to have to adjust. But no, we're not going to do that. As of right now, things being as they are right now, we will not be implementing that. There has been some thought to implement that on weekends and after hours, not to be shared with the rest of the community, but like every other portion of the university, we received some reductions. Basically, a tenth of our workforce was reduced in security. And so there may be times where they just having to keep track of who's where. It's going to be facilitated by having a sign-in sheet on the weekends and after hours. Of course, again, not to be shared with the community. I want people to think that we have a weakness in security and then we end up getting a whole bunch of break-ins, but that's the reality of the situation. So we'll see, though. There's still no determination on that. But as of right now, regular day, Monday through Friday during business hours, no, we're not doing the Google sign-in.
Annie had a question, and Auntie Coco's already answering about other services that will be available for students face-to-face on the campus. Copico Learning Community, the Learning Center there. Are you guys going to be open later this week? Noel says. Is Lori on or Tony Yee? Copico going to be open? I see Alfred is there. Are you guys going to be opening the downstairs? Oh, nobody. Sorry, wrong question, wrong person.
Yes, Copico will be open when the semester starts.
Okay, I see Lori. Thank you. And
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, we're not open until the semester. We want to make sure that we're ready and we have everything in place, and we will.
okay.
Sorry for that delay, Louise.
No, sorry. I didn't even see your name. I looked for you and then I couldn't find you, but there you are. Thank you, Lori. Thank you, John. Other
Sorry.
questions? Sorry.
I'm
Other
so sorry.
questions from anybody? Hi, Mickey, go.
Sorry, I'm so sorry. I just wanted to add to Coco's comment. The center is not open right now, so please do not just refer students to show up to campus because there's no one there to meet with them. I've met some students who are lost on campus thinking they could see a counselor and advisor. They have to make an appointment. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so Cheryl's asking for information to be available about what services are face-to-face. Noel says, yeah, it's on the website. URL? Noel? So that people will know where to direct students and they'll know where to find the answers when people ask them questions. Oh, not yet. Will be. Okay, wrong future tense. Okay. I'm just going to sit back and read. Okay, thank you. Thank you. Other questions? Anybody want to open up their mic and ask a question? Mickey, did you want to say something? Your yellow rectangle is lit. No. Okay. Could this be it? 1:33 p.m. done? Oh, amazing.
Dave has something to say, Dave.
Usually. There's a question already. Sorry, Dave.
That we've all got plenty of things to do. So yeah, an early end to the meeting would be much appreciated.
Ah, the gift of time. But sorry,
yes, yes.
One of your faculty has a question. We continue. What
Oh,
happened
damn
this week? You better talk to Amy and tell her when it's over, it's over. Amy, if we have a student in the night class, do we just email BCSA? No, yeah, is that how you'd like to hear it?
Yeah, I think if it's any student notifying you that they tested positive for COVID, regardless if it's face-to-face, online, evening, go ahead and email me just as a follow-up to kind of make sure that we're addressing all the things that we got to address on our end.
Good.
Yeah, thank you, of course. Thank you, Amy. On that, and let me try to ask the question. The a modicum of privacy. I know there was an issue, well, there's been a couple of events on our campus, and I believe one of the department chairs reached out to Brian at about 10 o'clock at night, thereabouts. And then we started the process of notifying students, if I understand, correctly. So if that's the case, I don't have Brian's direct number or Noel's direct number, and I don't know if you guys are really looking at emails at that time or whatever. So if we do need to get you at an awkward hour, what's the process?
So I think for me, for the students who tested positive, I think the instructors are told to go to their department chairs and whatnot. So I think all of admin had mine, but I can share it with the department chairs as well to contact me during after hours, just to kind of ensure that we're addressing it as soon as possible.
Okay. Yeah, I think for the department chairs that would be helpful. And is that like I said, the right step? So a faculty member, well, a student lets a faculty member know, faculty member lets us know, and then we call Noel. Is that the
Yes.
Yeah, for the students.
thigh bone connected to the shin bone?
Yeah, if it's a student, Dave, so the teacher gets a call, and that teacher will contact department chair, but really more importantly to contact Noel. Like Noel said, he'll make his information available. For employees, should contact me. This latest situation with a student, and the department chair called me. Inevitably what happens is Noel will report the cases for students to me. And then I've been taking care of it. So I didn't necessarily have to get Noel involved. I would recommend that. So first of all, I'll shout my cell phone number to the hills. It's 754-4644.
One more time, Brian.
754-4644. I mean,
4644.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised you don't have that. I mean, everyone does. Now, a lot of times if I don't recognize your number, I may not pick up. So what I always tell folks is text me. Hey, Brian, this is Dave, right? Here's a situation, got a student or whatever. And then we'll start the process that begins there. If it's an employee, you can just contact me directly. Out of courtesy, there's no requirement, but out of courtesy, I'd ask you to let your supervisor know, your department chair or your dean, so that they know what's going on. Yeah.
And yes, the process is in the guidelines.
Yes.
And version 2.0 of the guidelines is expected to hit the market on Friday.
It is expected. The plan is to get it out version 2 by Friday afternoon. I'd like to get it back before the duty period begins, or the first day everybody reports in. But as has happened, it's funny because there's a lot of things that we are ahead of the system on, and there is a critical piece that is still up in the air that Noel and his group are working on with regard to students who don't want to wear a mask. And that has to be squared away. I had hoped to link to a policy, which I don't think is going to happen. I think inevitably there's probably going to be a version 3 in a couple of weeks, because two pieces of important information aren't done yet.
Okay. Maria wants to say something. Maria.
I just want to remind the department chairs that at this point, low enrolled classes should already have been canceled, except for those classes that we have identified that are, being recommended for our new incoming students. So, especially the higher level courses, those are not going to be courses that are going to be on the list for the new students. So please start, I hope those have already been canceled at this point, so that those students who are registered in those classes had had time to look for other classes that they wanted to take.
Thanks, Maria.
Just a reminder, please.
Duly noted.
I'm sorry, LP, can I just really, I would be remiss if I did not mention this other piece. So instructors, counselors, whoever, if a student contacts you, the best advice immediately is, thanks for letting me know, stay home. You know, don't even go elsewhere. Don't run to Long's and get medicine. Stay home. If you feel like you have some sort of emergency situation, call 911. But call ahead. You know, you want to seek medical advice from your medical provider. Call ahead. Let them know the situation so that they know that you may be COVID positive. And for employees, same thing. If you're calling me to let me know what's going on, stay home. Plan on staying home the next day. If you have to get coverage for your classes, that's when obviously you need to let your DC know and whoever else is necessary. But I would be remiss. I'm sorry. I should have added that. The best advice right now: stay home.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Shannon's also letting us know. Thanks, Frank. Shannon's also letting us know in the chat that if the faculty or the counselors or staff are getting emails from students that are particularly frantic, it's because they're worried. So be kind. Yes. Yeah. What other questions might you have? All right, Dave has things to do. Oh, no, sorry. Dave, another one from your department. It's like, no, we're not going to have Dave do his job. After school starts, will we continue these meetings on Wednesdays? After school starts, we will continue these meetings. I'm not sure about Wednesdays. If Wednesdays work for everybody, then that's fine. But we will absolutely continue. I'm okay with Wednesdays at 1. Still processing fall apps. Thank you, Jerry. 300 or so to go. Yay! If you're paying attention to enrollment, and you can do that every day, some of us do look every day, you can see that we're slipping further behind. We're behinder than we were about 2 weeks ago. We're now 8.1 this morning, 8.2? Yeah. Thanks to Jerry and her team for working so hard to get as many students to the goal line as possible. I know it's really, really difficult. Health documents, yes, I know. Okay, see, Jerry and team, thank you. You're the front line right now. Everybody's just waiting to pick up the students. Gimme, gimme, gimme. Okay, anybody else from hospitality would like to ask a question? Okay, I think this is it then.
You see what a concerning, conscientious group we are, right? I mean,
Yeah.
every Wednesday, we got good questions.
I know it. I know it.
I'm just bragging. I'm just bragging now.
Yeah. You're just telling them, shut up. I want to go and do my work. No, thank you all.
Yeah.
Questions are really important. Questions and concerns, we have to hear them so that we can address them and so that you can help each other out with the answers. Much appreciated, always, always. So let me just say at 1:44, we will call a timeout on this Zoom meeting. And as I've said, every Zoom meeting, if something comes up that you guys need to know about right away, I'll be sure to have that information. And thanks to the members of the CAC who continuously redirect the messages to their peeps. The communication is never good enough, and I know that. So all that we can each do in our own way to promote that communication is much appreciated. Take care of each other, take care of yourselves, be mindful, wash your hands, stay 6 feet away, wear your masks, your facial coverings. And right now you can unmute yourself and say goodbye to everybody. Bye.
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 Lavashay had a question.
Aloha, thank you.
Sorry, Lavashay, email me. Bye.